Hey guys, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be reading the original post that I wrote for tonight because I'm suddenly sort of have like a mini emergency to take care of. But I do want to talk to you about what I was posting about earlier this morning. So I hope today, either at lunch or dinner or both, you were able to sort of follow that very basic portion control list that I made up. Um, and I am curious to see how you guys like how your experience with that was. So comment below. Um, I know that I think the biggest step in that helps me the most is starting my plate with greens because you naturally usually don't try and put everything on your plate. So if there isn't as much space, you aren't going to put as much other food on there. So even if the grains or the protein the only option you have is covered with sauce or isn't as healthy or isn't a whole grain, you at least will not be having as much of it. And then also, like I said, going back for seconds, that the healthier seconds options first is great. And like I said, eating slowly is always great for curbing your hunger so you don't want dessert and just so you eat less because you always need less than your brain thinks, because if you're not used to eating in correct proportions, your brain is seeing all this food and wants it all. So that being said, I want to talk a little bit about this thing called the diet cycle. Now, whether you've tried a real diet like Weight Watchers, or a meal plan, or whether you just occasionally, cut out sugar for a week, or cut out bread, or cut out pasta, or only eat salad, you'll be familiar with this. So what happens is you have this idea, and I'll make it personal for me. Let's say I had the idea once that I was not going to eat any fat, or as little fat as possible. Because I had read a book that said, it's not good for your skin, it's not as necessary as people think, the fat you eat is the fat you wear. So I was like, perfect, I'm not going to eat fat. So I cut it out. For about 10 days, usually your goal or your why you are deciding to cut these foods out is strong enough and you succeed. And you're like, this is going great, I'm having some temptations, but I'm not listening to them. But then about by day 10 or by day 14, you're getting hungry, you're getting irritable, you're really thinking about these foods all the time. If you're with people eating them, it's even more difficult. And, around that time, you give in and you eat the food, but not only do you eat it, normally you eat it in huge proportions because